25 reading for your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus signs. Do check out your placements to get a message that most resonates with you. I'm not telling you what to do. The oracle's not telling you what to do. Ultimately, you have free will. Therefore, you make the best decision for you and those involved. If you're cross-watching or you yourself, Taurus, feel that the roles are in the reverse, please reverse them, take what applies and leave what doesn't. It's a general reading, not a private reading, so it may resonate, may not resonate. Please be aware of that. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating. It is greatly appreciated. All right, Taurus, let's take a look. Okay. Seven of Wands, overall energy. This is about standing your ground. This is having boundaries. We'll see as we clarify. In the current, you have the Devil, Capricorn energy. I don't know if you're dealing with some sort of addiction issues or codependency or fears, or maybe just a toxic situation. But it is, the Devil card is about something that keeps you tied and bound, like it doesn't allow you to feel free. So we'll see exactly what that is. The Lover's card is the challenge, which is interesting because normally you have the Lover's card and then the negative version of that or the toxic version of that would be the Devil. So it makes sense why the Lovers would be in the challenge position. This could be about making certain choices. Um, I don't know if this right now is about setting certain boundaries or what you allow or what you don't allow. Ace of Swords in the foundation. Either something was revealed, something was communicated. The Ace of Swords could also be cutting something out. But in the foundation, if that's truth and clarity, it could be that you're understanding that something isn't what you thought it was, or that it is not as healthy or not as, I don't know, I don't want to label good, but let's just use it for the sake of simplicity. It's not as good as you thought. Let's see. You have the Hanged Man in the past. So I feel like in the past there was almost like a pause kind of reviewing this. There was like a little bit of a, you can smell that something was a little off. On your mind, Three of Swords, and your outcome is the Ten of Pentacles. All right, so that's good. The Ten of Pentacles is about long-term stability, security. It is also a card of legacy and family and inheritance. So let's see what this is all about. Why is the Seven of Wands here for the overall energy for Taurus? Why is the Seven of Wands here? The Four of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so there might have been already communication here. Either a situation that you felt disappointed in, or perhaps you could tell that it was just constantly going in the same circle. For some, this is a situation that you're already, I don't know if the word is bored with, or if it's just like, I don't know, there's a sense of dissatisfaction. For some of you, somebody could be feeling like they don't want to give up on something, like, I don't want it to be a missed opportunity. But then the Page of Swords is here. Either this was communicated or there was just a constant curiosity if this was something that was going to bear fruit, so to speak. Now, to continue investing in something here, I almost feel like there's an uncertainty. The Seven of Wands comes in. I don't necessarily think it's a pushing away. I think it's just more of protecting yourself with certain boundaries. This to me almost also feels like a constant battle or struggle. Let's see. Let's keep going. King of Cups was at the bottom of the deck, so you've poured yourself into this. Why is the Devil the current energy? The Four of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. For some of you, this has to do with work. For some, this is in regards to your stability and security, possibly at home with the Four of Wands. You know that saying, feeding the monster? Because how do you have really positive cards clarifying a negative card? Hmm. Because it almost feels like waiting for some sort of change. With the Four of Wands here, King of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, this is somebody who is like, I'm ready for this, to give to this, put in time, put in effort, spend of what I have to put my focus on this. For some of you, you are dealing with some sort of addiction, or you're dealing with someone who is struggling. For some of you, you've been dealing with something for so long that may have made you feel shackled, but it also felt like it was something familiar. Like, yeah, I'm kind of secure in this, but deep down, maybe even trying to avoid it. There's almost like a love-hate relationship here. It's almost like, let's say if this was a work situation. Yeah, you know what? I go to work and it's secure. It pays my bills. I'm focused. I'm doing what I have to do. However, the environment is toxic, or you feel some sort of deception, or you feel like you're going to have to avoid certain people all the time, or something like this. I don't know. You let me know. Let's see what the lovers is. Why is that the challenge? To me, this just seems like healthy versus unhealthy. Why is the lovers the challenge? The strength, Leo, Five of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. I feel like the challenge is this, this is what it's, yeah, it's almost like trying to make something work when it's not really working, but you still really want this. There's still a lot of hope here. There might have even been thoughts of like, did I make the right choice? Is this something to continue with? Why is the Ace of Swords in the foundation? Seven of Cups, the Chariot, the Ace of Cups, Ten of Swords at the bottom. For some of you, for some of you, you're feeling led to go in a particular direction. Like I said, there might have been even other options presented to you, like, oh, I can go here, I can go there. If I make this move, will it be the right move for me? It's almost like a tug of war here. What is this Ace of Cups? Five of Cups. You don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to have regrets. Let's see what the Hanged Man is in the past here. What is the Hanged Man? The Six of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Tower. It almost feels like in the past, things were going in the right direction. It felt good. And then the Tower. I don't know if something abruptly changed or something chaotic happened or unexpected. But something, it almost seemed like something has shifted your perspective or changed your mind. What is this Three of Swords? The Two of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands. There's almost like this strong desire, maybe even an impulse or an idea or something like this to move forward. But Three of Swords, there's a disappointment or a heartache or feeling some sort of pain. Let me see, what else? What else could you tell me about this Three of Swords? The Moon, Five of Wands, the Four of Pentacles. I almost feel like there's a bit of fear that kind of like shit is going to hit the fan, but there's still a holding on here. Or maybe you're keeping to yourself. For some of you, this is getting disappointed because of expectations. I almost feel like a sense of like, I do a lot, I put all of my energy and passion into this. Why is the Ten of Pentacles the outcome? Temperance, Page of Cups, the Empress. That's pretty positive. This is almost like saying things are going to work out. For some of you, this has to do with a family situation, a feminine energy, maybe a mother, with the Empress being here. Tell me more about this Ten of Pentacles. Magician, Nine of Pentacles, King of Swords. I almost feel like there's a clarity here. You don't want to get screwed over either. For some of you, you feel like maybe if taking a pause might be the right decision, but it creates some sort of anxiety here. For some of you, there hasn't been a lot of talking, especially if this has to do with like a family situation. If there hasn't been any communication, somebody is struggling with that. Somebody wants to say something. For some of you, you want to say something. What is this Page of Pentacles that's here? Queen of Cups, Ten of Wands. Is this Queen of Cups you? Two of Cups and the Judgment. This, okay, this almost looks like a 360 on some sort of reconciliation. Let me see what these oracle cards say over here. I don't know if you start to focus on your own stability, or maybe your health, uh, or just kind of like preparing yourself for this Ten of Pentacles, like being in the energy of, like if it's a family that you want, then being in that energy yourself, like feeling what that feels like. If it's about a job, it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. Hand Hand of Cards, take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, gambling. And then not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call, person, boundaries, still angry. So that could be, didn't I do a reading for you about apologizing, that somebody wanted to apologize, or somebody wanted to make amends, make something here is very clear for you. Let me just remove some of these clarifying cards just so I could see what I'm looking at. For some of, okay, so if this is resonating, if there is like a blockage in communication, there's almost this element of, no, you know what, I'm going to do something about it, but then thinking if I do something about it, I'm just going to be disappointed, or there's just going to be hurt or pain. Okay, if this, actually, it could apply to all situations. There's something here about, yeah, almost like standing your ground. For some of you, there's a need to know when to speak up and when to remain still. But I don't think that that's necessarily an issue for you. Hmm. If this is making sense, I also feel like these oracle cards that showed up, there's almost like if you are avoiding someone or you're putting up boundaries with someone, there's almost a call here to kind of like play your cards right, but it's not about mind games. It's about having discernment. It's about, how do I explain this?